This is a second grade math video. I'm Miss Jackson Smith, and this is Wednesday, April 15th, 2020. In this video, we're going to be working a little bit on some challenging addition problems. And then we're also going to work a little more on symmetry and thinking about symmetrical objects. We're going to see a really cool slideshow, and I'm just really excited for it. For this video, before you get started, make sure you have some paper and something to write with for all of our addition today. And then we're also going to be doing some drawing with symmetry. And don't forget to bring your brain too. Our first problem for today is an addition problem, and we're actually just going to focus on addition today, no subtraction. So let's sing our addition song. Sing it with me to remember our rules for adding. Add it up, 9 or less, let it rest, 10 or more, go next door. So that means if we're in our ones place and our ones add up to more than 10 or more than 9, we're going to need to group 10 ones together to make one 10. All right, let's get started. I want you to copy this problem down, and then please take your time adding up the numbers. Start in the ones place, then go to the tens place, then go to the hundreds place. Please pause the video to do all of that, and then press play when you're ready to see how I solved it, all right? All right, I'm gonna assume that you tried it on your own, and I'm gonna show you the steps of what I do to solve an addition problem when I have more than two numbers that I'm adding together. So the first thing I'm gonna do is just double check that I am actually adding. So I'm going to double check that symbol right here, because if it was a subtraction sign, I'd know that I need to subtract instead of add. Next, I look at my ones place. I've got 3 plus 5 plus 6, and that's a lot to remember, so I'm going to write it again just like this, horizontally. Next, I'm just going to look for facts I know. I know 3 plus 5 is 8, so I'm going to think about 3 plus 5 first. Then I can know that that's basically the same as 8 plus 6. And I can do 8 plus 6. 8 plus 6 is 14. So I'm going to write 14 just like this, carry that 1 10 and 4 ones. All right, next let's look in our tens place. I've got 1 plus 6 plus 2 plus 6. And now I'm going to look for facts I know. There's a lot of facts I know in here, but one of my favorite facts is doubles. I know that 6 plus 6 is 12. So I'm going to pull those 6's together and rewrite my addition sentence. So that's 1 plus 2, and then those two 6's went together to make 12. Now it looks a lot easier. 1 plus 2, that's 3. So basically I just have 3 plus 12. See how that got a lot simpler? 3 plus 12 is 15, so I'm going to write it up here. I'm going to write 5 tens and 1 in the hundreds place. All right, we're almost done. Now we're looking in the hundreds place. We've got 1 plus 3 plus 1 plus 2, so I rewrote it just like this. Now I'm going to look for facts I know. I know 1 plus 3 is 4, and 1 plus 2 is 3. So I'm going to rewrite it just like this. Here's where the 4 came from, and here's where the 3 came from. Now that's just 4 plus 3, and that's really easy. I could count that on my fingers. 4 plus 3 is 7, so I write a 7 in the hundreds place, and I am all done. Give yourselves a big round of applause and write a check mark or a star or a smiley face next to your work. You should write 2 stars if you had a mistake the first time and then you followed along with me and fixed it anyways, because as we learned on Monday, and Miss J asked me to mistake last week, everybody makes mistakes, and that's totally okay. Next up, I just want you to try one more time with a new addition problem. Try what we just practiced on your own, and then I'm going to reveal the answer. So pause the video right now, copy this down, try it on your own, and then when you're ready, press play. All right, in the ones place, we had 4 plus 1 plus 3 ones is 8 ones. In the tens place, we have 6 plus 9 plus 0. That is 15. So I wrote 5 tens and 1 in the hundreds place. Then in the hundreds place, I've got 1 plus 1 plus 2 plus 4. That's 8 hundredths. So my answer is 858. I had a super fun time working on those addition problems. I know that they looked kind of challenging, but so long as you know your smaller addition facts, then they're pretty easy. But it's okay if it's taking a long time, and it's really okay if you make mistakes. We're going to spend more time working on these kinds of things later. But now it's time to shift and work a little bit on symmetry. So I have a slideshow for you with lots of fun pictures in it. As you look at these pictures, I want you to think, what do I notice and what do I wonder? All right, that's your only job, is what do I notice and what do I wonder? All right, I know I went kind of fast, but in all of these pictures, they have lines of symmetry hidden in them. And so we could say that all of those shapes are symmetrical shapes. Say symmetrical. This time, I want you to look at each picture and look for the lines of symmetry, okay? Remember, a shape has line symmetry if it can be folded on a line so that its two parts match exactly. And that line of symmetry divides a shape into two equal parts that are congruent. Congruent means that they're the same size and the same shape. And remember, a line of symmetry could be horizontal, it could be vertical, or it could be diagonal. So let's look again and see if we can find those lines of symmetry. So look right here and see if you can see where the line of symmetry is. It's right down the middle. It's the same, exactly the same on this butterfly on each side. On these dogs, the line of symmetry again goes right down the middle. Each side is exactly the same. Look at this tiger. Where's the line of symmetry? I found one that goes kind of slanted, but right down the middle. Let's look at this crazy looking building. If I draw a line right down the middle, it looks pretty much the same on both sides. I know there's some shadows there, but it's pretty much symmetrical. Now this is President Obama. If we draw a line right down the middle on a face, faces are pretty symmetrical. There's an eye on each side, there's eyebrows on each side, there's an ear on each side. If there's something on one side, there's something on the other. It might not be perfectly exactly symmetrical, but it's pretty close. All right, look at these ones. Where is the line of symmetry? On this one, it's a little tricky. I wonder if you can find it. It's a little bit of a trick. There's a line of symmetry that's diagonal, and you could probably draw it anyway. Or you could do it straight across horizontally, or you could even see some symmetry vertically. It just depends on how you look at it. What about this four-leaf clover? Can you draw a line or think of a line that makes a line of symmetry? If I put a line here, it's the same on each side. But if I put a line here, it's the same on each side too. Or I could even draw a line right here and it's the same on each side. That's pretty cool. What about this moth? This one has one line of symmetry that's vertical. This snowflake has lots and lots of lines of symmetry. I just drew two. But there's more than that. These hands, they have a line of symmetry too, right down the middle. So, I'm going to shift into another little part of this video, but you guys did a really good job looking for lines of symmetry. Next up, I'm going to look at a shape and decide if it's symmetrical. Remember, it's only symmetrical if both parts are congruent, so they're the same size and the same shape, and you can fold it on the line of symmetry and both sides match. So I'm looking at this picture of a monster, and first off, I want to see, are both parts congruent? Are they the same? No, they're not. On one side, there's this drink, and on the other side, there's a popcorn. And so that means they're not the same on both sides. Then if I folded it over, they wouldn't match. There's a popcorn here, but there's no popcorn up here. His eyes match, and his eyebrows match, and his hands match, but everything has to match for it to be symmetrical. So this shape is not symmetrical. Next, let's try. We want to draw on the other side of the shape to make it symmetrical. So go ahead and draw this shape and draw the line of symmetry. It looks like it's half of a heart. Next, I want you to go ahead and draw the other half of the heart. And if I'm going too fast, just pause the video. All right, I drew the other half and it looks like this. It's exactly symmetrical. It looks just the same as on one side, or anything that goes on one side has to go on the other side. All right, let's try it with these shapes. Go ahead and draw each of these shapes with their line of symmetry, and then I want you to draw on the other side so that the sides are symmetrical, so they're exactly the same. Take your time and please pause the video so you have enough time to do that. All right, here's what I drew to make them match. They're not perfect, but I did my best, and that's what counts. All right, those are all of the things that we had to work on for this video. So you're all done. Your next step is to go to Google Classroom and complete your math work for Wednesday. There's a little bit of review. There's also some independent practice, and there's an exit ticket today. So there's lots and lots to do, and I can't wait to look at all of your work. I had so much fun looking for pictures, but I would love it to get even more pictures. I've been getting a lot of pictures this week from Kipsters who are finding symmetrical things. But please keep sending me pictures if you find other symmetrical things. And I'd love to put them in a video later this week. I hope you had fun learning with me, and let's learn again tomorrow. See you later. Bye.